Hi, my name is Nana and welcome to my channel, A Puzzling Lamb. When I showed this villager puzzles in a recent haul video, there were a lot of interest from you all for me to make a review of it. So that's what we're doing today. This is my first and only villager puzzle, but I didn't actually choose this puzzle myself. So I got this from the Danish puzzle store Puslespilsbutikken, which I've talked about many times. And Puslespilsbutikken, usually a couple of times a year, sells mystery boxes where you, as the name suggests, don't know what puzzles you're going to get, but you know you're going to get a value of at least twice what you paid for the box. But the last box I got, this puzzle was in it. And I was so excited. Puslespilsbutikken had just started selling villager puzzles, and I was very curious about them. I've heard a lot about them. Now, I don't think Puslespilsbutikken have villager puzzles anymore, but I will of course link Villager Puzzle's own website in the description. Oh, and by the way, let me show you the image here properly. So it's this beautifully decorated cake, and baking is actually also a really big hobby for me, so this puzzle is just perfect. Now, before I get into the review, I just quickly have to mention that I'm sorry that my voice sounds a bit weird, and especially in some of the clips I'm about to show you, I have pneumonia. That's what it's called in English, right? Yeah, pneumonia right now. I'm feeling better, but yeah, especially in the clip where I show you the box and the pieces, I sound awful. So sorry about that. But anyway, let's get to the review. I really think this box is beautiful. Of course, it helps that the image is beautiful. But anyway, you have here at the top the name of the brand, Villager Puzzles, and it says that it's a 1,000-piece puzzle. You have the entire image. It could be bigger on the box here, but at least this means that you have no logo or anything covering it up. In the background, you have this beautiful blue design. I actually don't know if all villager puzzle boxes have this blue color or if it depends on the image. I'll have to go on their website and check that. On the back, oh, and also, you know, the size of the box is really great. Technically, it could be a little bit smaller, but it's a nice size, and the quality of the box is really sturdy. It's really good. On the back, you have a ton of information. So first we have this little box here about villager puzzles. You can pause if you want to read. And it also has their website and their Instagram handle. Here in the corner, you have a little version of the image, the name of the puzzle, Artisan Bakery, artwork by Ginger Deverell, and the finished size of the puzzle, 50 times 70 centimeters, completely standard for a 1,000-piece puzzle. It says it's woman-owned, woman-designed, Canadian company, Canadian design, support women artists with every purchase, recycled premium paperboard, that's really great, perfect fit pieces, we'll see about that. Then on the bottom of this, you have designed in Canada, printed in China, villager puzzles, you know, all the normal information. It's FSC branded. And then you have this whole box here about the artist. I really love that. Again, you can pause to read. One thing I also really love is that it has the artist's Instagram handle directly here on the box. I cannot count how many times I've had to search and search and search to find an artist on Instagram, because a lot of the time they don't just use their name, they have like an artist name, you know, on Instagram, and it can be quite difficult to find them sometimes. So this is really, really great. So it's going to be really easy to check out the artist's other work. Now on the sides, here you have designed in Canada, Can a puzzle be self-care? Absolutely. You can see this blue design goes all the way around. Support women artists. Love that. And then on this side, which is for many probably the side they're going to display on the shelf, I actually have mine with this. I have it, lying on the shelf like this. So this is what you can see. I also really don't mind that. But here, I think this is what is meant to be the thing you are displaying on your shelf. And it's also really nice designed. The logo, name of the puzzle, a small image of the puzzle, and here 1,000-piece puzzle. And then it says that this is the actual piece size. I always think that's a nice little detail to have on a puzzle box. Now, when we open the box, you can see it has this magnetic flap. So it's a bit different than a lot of other puzzle boxes. And when you open it, you have the pieces. We're going to take a look at those in a moment. And then again, you have the puzzle image here. And I actually think, yeah, it's just a tiny bit bigger here. I actually quite like this. I think it's going to be quite easy to have the box on your table like this. I think, yeah, it's going to stand on its own. And then you have this lovely image to work off. Now let's again take a look at the pieces in a moment. And then you have a poster. A really nice size poster. You can see it's quite a lot bigger than the other reference images you have, but it's not full size. It's a really lovely size. I'm really going to be able to work off of this. It's also a lovely quality. I think it's going to be able to stand up perfectly. There's nothing on the back, but I really like this. Now, the pieces. Now, I have already, as you can see, opened the bag. I did take a look at the pieces a little while ago. But let me take them out in the box here. It's a non-resealable plastic bag. So, pretty standard, but it would be cool if it were resealable. Checking we have all the pieces. Okay. So the first thing I notice is that there are a lot of different piece shapes here. You can see, and they also look really fun. So just see if I can find another of those. Yeah, so you can see it's not like within each piece shape type they're then the same. They look all really different. So it's said here, that is the actual piece size. But when you look at the pieces, it does look like, there is a great variation in the piece size. You can see there are some here that are quite a bit smaller. But I really like that. I think it means it's going to be a really fun experience putting together. Now the thickness of the pieces, pretty standard, I think. Perhaps even, no, I don't think it's on the thin size, just really standard, but it feels really, really sturdy. Like, really sturdy. Some of the most sturdy pieces I've tried. It reminds me in sturdiness of the Das Puzzle Collective puzzles I reviewed a while back. And then the surface of the pieces, see if I can find a piece where you can see it. They have, I think it's what you call a linen texture. I think you can see, and they are completely matte. They're really lovely to the touch. Yeah, I like that. The colors, let's see, we can both compare to the poster and to the box first, actually. Let's compare the poster here to the box and see if the colors match. And yeah, it really, I can't really see any difference in the colors. Perhaps a little bit here with the flowers. Perhaps the flowers is a bit more saturated here and here, but I don't know, it's a bit hard to tell. I think it's pretty similar. Perhaps the poster is a little less saturated than the images on the box. Now let's see here with a piece, with the background here. I think it matches. I think perhaps the color on the poster is a little bit different. I don't know, it's really hard to capture things like that on camera. The colors are often a little bit different on camera than they are in real life. I think it's the poster where the colors aren't completely correct, because I think that this matches. Yeah, it's a really small detail. I don't think it's anything I'm going to really notice when I puzzle it. I might not have noticed it if I weren't making this review, but let's see how much of a difference it makes. Well, there's also this background here. Let's see. Here, actually, I think perhaps the colors match the poster a bit more. Okay, this is going to be interesting to see, but I will say that the image does look crisp, doesn't look pixelated, so that's really great. I really think this is some fun piece shapes. So one thing I'm really excited to see, because I did talk with a friend of mine who've done one of their puzzles and who were quite disappointed with the fit of the puzzle. So she thought the fit was really loose, which she understandably wasn't a fan of. Also, she'd, like me, had only heard positive things about this brand. So I'm excited to see what my experience is with the puzzle, is with the fit. But just looking and touching the pieces here, the quality does seem really, really great. Like, really great. They're extremely sturdy. Yeah, I like the texture on the pieces, so they're not, completely smooth. I don't know if this texture could put some people off, but it feels nice, and I only really see that texture when I'm looking at them, like, really up close. Yeah, but I like it. Now, strategy. So let's look at this image. I think I'm going to pull out the edge, of course, and do the edge first, as I always do. I'll probably sort out this gray, like, tablecloth thing and perhaps also this pink background, so you can see both the tablecloth and the wall here have this stripy pattern, so I think those are going to be really easy to pull out. This, I think these like brown dark stripes of the cake. I don't know if the white layers of the cake are going to be obvious. Like, there's some really light here. Perhaps I'm going to pull those out, but probably just these background colors and that brown dark color. As you know, if you've seen some of my videos, I very, very, very rarely do a full sort, and I'm not going to do it this time either. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. These pieces are really lovely. I could do this all day. Yeah, looking forward to it. I'm going to come back to you when I'm probably about halfway, and we'll see if it's true with that perfect fit pieces. this is as far as I've gotten so far. As you can see, I basically did the entire background first, and I love this image. It's so much fun with all these patterns to sort out, and also just, in the background here, this pink background, there are a lot of things to pick out and sort, so it's not just a solid colored section. You have these small pink flowers to sort out, some small yellow ones, and even here with all these green leaves, which is the type of pattern I can actually find really difficult, but there are some color differences. So I'm really enjoying myself. Another great thing is the piece shapes. They're all really unique, and it's really easy to go by the piece shapes. If a section is a bit difficult, I really love these piece shapes. Also, I just quickly want to show you here in the box. This is what little puzzle dust there were. You can see it's just some teeny tiny puzzle dust left here in the box, but nothing on the pieces, and I didn't get any on my fingers when I sorted the puzzle, so that's really lovely. Now, the colors, the poster here, the colors don't quite match up with the puzzle, so you can see this background here, it's kind of, I don't know, more green, where this is more gray. You can also see it a bit here. I think the color is a little bit different, but it's really a small difference and nothing I notice when I do the puzzle. And the colors on the box, both on the inside and the outside of the box, are the correct colors. So what you see on the box is what you're getting. So it's a minor thing. Now, something that's not a minor thing, that is, I don't know, kind of bordering on being a deal breaker, is the fit of the pieces. So I haven't had any false fits, but the fit is extremely loose. Some of the loosest pieces I've encountered, but I were kind of expecting it. As I said, I heard it from a friend of mine, and I just checked Villager's website and Instagram page because I wanted to check, I wanted to check about this blue color, and it is different from puzzle to puzzle what this background color of the boxes are. But anyway, I saw she had posted a reel mentioning the loose fit and that they are changing it. So I actually wrote to her to get some things clarified because I was kind of afraid that my review wouldn't be relevant anymore if they're changing the pieces. But the only thing they're changing is how tightly the pieces fit together. So it's still the same material, it's just a tighter fit. So this should hopefully be fixed very soon if it isn't already. So if loose fitting pieces is an issue for you, make sure to buy their new puzzles. But anyway, I'll talk more about, doing my final thoughts, what I think of these loose pieces and how much of a deal breaker it is or isn't. You can see it really is loose. You can't even move two pieces without them falling apart. Now, another thing about the pieces, because the pieces are really sturdy, really some of the most sturdy pieces I've ever felt. So it is quite impressive, actually. I have two pieces here that are actually bent. I noticed when I sorted, you can see here, this piece and this piece is also slightly bent. And I actually also came across a few others when I did the puzzle where the knob was a little bit bent. This is definitely the worst case of it. But let's see if it's possible to fix it. I think it is. I'm only using one hand now. Will probably be easier when I'm not holding a camera at the same time. So it does have a slight crease right there. I don't think it's something I'll be able to notice once the puzzle is together. But it is kind of impressive that these pieces are bent because they are really, really sturdy. But yeah, there were a few of those. So I don't know if that's a general issue with this brand. It's not at all that many pieces that it's something I would complain about, but worth mentioning. Now, I think that's all I have to say about the quality for now. Let's talk about what I'm doing next here. So again, as you can see, I have these darker sections of the cake, but otherwise that's pretty much the cake I have left. So these are all the pieces I have left, so I definitely need to do a little bit of sorting. I think perhaps I'll pull out the yellow, so that these yellow flowers, and I also think I can see the pink roses, so I'll also pull those, and then just anything else I see, smaller things, so like these flowers here. I also think there are, these like with this line here. I think that's the tape here. So just, doing a little bit more sorting. Perhaps this part here, that's this line of the cake and this line of the cake. Yeah, do a bit more sorting and then just, taking it as it comes. But I really am loving this puzzle, despite the loose fit. Again, I'll talk more about that later. But the image itself is just really, really wonderful. There is a lot of things I love about this puzzle. So let's talk about the positives first. And first of all, the image. I really enjoyed putting this image together. It was just so much fun pulling out the different patterns. And as I also mentioned, there were no places where it was like really difficult. So even in this like background, there's a lot of color difference, different flowers. Down here, there are different details that were easy to pull out. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Now, I have mentioned before that I am starting to notice how much I don't enjoy images that are in portrait mode, which this is. And I also did end up putting this puzzle together mostly lying down. But with this specific image, it really didn't bother me because it's so, graphic. It's mostly just lines. So putting it together like that didn't take away any enjoyment of the art from me. But I'll come back to the whole portrait landscape mode thing in a little while, because there's more I want to talk about that. Anyway, loved the image. Loved the box. Really pretty box. Very well designed. Very sturdy. I love this magnetic flip here. That's a really nice touch. It also made it so you could actually, have the box standing on your table like this without anything needing to prop it up or open it up. I have already taken the puzzle apart, sorry. Opened it up, like this and have this as a reference image. Yeah, really enjoyed this box. It's really a pretty addition to any puzzle shelves. And as I mentioned, I checked out on their website, and this background color is different from puzzle to puzzle, which I also think can look really pretty on a shelf. Now the pieces. I loved the piece shapes. I actually think it's a bit funny that they on the box have here where they say this is the actual piece shape, because there were a lot of variation in the piece sizes and the piece shapes. I didn't have a single false fit. If there were a section that were a bit more difficult, I did all of this white here at the end, and there were some places that were the most tricky part of the puzzle, but I could really use the piece shapes a lot. I also really enjoyed the surface of the pieces. That linen-y kind of texture on it I think was really nice. The pieces were really matte. They just felt really lovely, the pieces. But now to the things that weren't the best, because this puzzle isn't perfect. First, there's the poster. Really love the poster, the quality and the size of it, but there were a slight color difference from the poster to the pieces and the box. Now, it wasn't that big of a deal for me. I didn't really notice it when I put the puzzle together. I might not even have noticed if I hadn't made this review and actually put the poster next to the box like that to show you. But, it was there. Most importantly, the color on the box is correct, matches the colors on the pieces. I recently did a puzzle, a Reverie puzzle. You can see my review on that on Instagram. But with that, the colors on the box were much more vibrant, much more saturated and lighter than they were on the pieces, and it really affected my puzzling experience, because what I thought I was getting when I saw the box was just not what I was getting on the puzzle. This is not that. Here, the box and the puzzle is the same. What you see on the box is what you are getting. But, it's a bit of a shame that the poster then wasn't quite correct in the colors, but yeah. It's a small thing worth mentioning. Another thing, there were some damaged pieces, some bent pieces. Now, they were all, even the one I showed you that were the most bent piece of them all, I could unbend. I could fix. So it really wasn't anything you notice when the puzzle is finished. But yeah, I was rather surprised actually, because when I first saw the pieces, I was really impressed with how sturdy they are, and I will still say they feel really, really sturdy. So I really don't know what happened with those few bent pieces. I'd love to know if you've tried a villager puzzle, if that's something you've experienced, or if I was just unlucky. Again, it was not so many that I would want to complain to the company about it, but still, they were there. Now, the last negative thing, which is a big negative thing, but is also a little difficult for me to really review, the really, really loose fit. As I said, they're supposedly fixing that. So, yeah, as I said, it's a bit difficult for me to review that part. If loose-fitting pieces is a huge deal for you, I will definitely not buy some of the already existing puzzles, but wait for the newer puzzles, wait for them to, restock the older puzzles. Yeah. But another thing I want to mention, because I think it really affects how much of these negative things, how big of a deal they are, and it's the price. Now, as I said, I got this from Puslespilsbutikken. She doesn't sell them anymore, so I can't see what price she sells them for. I feel like I remember them being expensive. So when I started this puzzle, I thought of this as a really expensive luxury puzzle. And with those puzzles, I kind of expect perfection. But then I checked Villager's website to see what the price is there. And a 500-piece puzzle costs 30 Canadian dollars and a 1,000-piece puzzle costs 32 Canadian puzzles. So that's actually quite affordable, I think. Way cheaper than what I remember these being on Puslespilsbutikken, which makes sense. I mean, she has to get them from Canada. I'm sure there's a lot of extra things that with the shipping and, all of that makes these more expensive. But yeah, the original price on the website is really great. So if where you're buying these puzzles, if this is an expensive puzzle, like I remember it were on Puslespilsbutikken, the loose fit would be a deal breaker for me. I definitely wouldn't buy this again with that fit at that price, but with the correct price when you buy from them, it's not a deal breaker for me. It's a relatively cheap puzzle, so still with the beautiful images, the beautiful box, everything else this puzzle has going for it, I could forgive the loose fit for that price. So again, it's really up to you how big of a deal a loose fit is, what the price you can get these puzzles for, and of course, when they fix the loose fit. This, I think, is an amazing puzzle for the price. I cannot recommend them enough. Now, about the images, because of course when I check the price, I also check the other puzzles. I'll show you them here. They are all beautiful. I don't think there's a single puzzle there I wouldn't want. But a lot of their images are in portrait mode. With the 500-piece puzzles, that doesn't bother me because, the puzzle is smaller. So even puzzling it in the right direction, there's not that far to reach. But with their 1,000-piece puzzles, they have 10 1,000-piece puzzles on the website. This isn't one of them. I don't know if it's just out of stock temporarily or if they don't make them anymore. Anyway, of the 10 1,000-piece puzzles on their website, only 2 of them is in landscape mode. So that is definitely a thing I would want to see from them in the future, is more puzzles in landscape mode. I don't know if it's just a thing that's annoying me, but I can really feel that puzzles in portrait mode, 1,000-piece puzzles in portrait mode, is becoming a bigger and bigger deal for me, and I really have to love the image to overlook it being in portrait mode. I'm feeling like I'm saying portrait and landscape mode a lot right now. But yeah, I'd love to know from you if this is something that, means anything to you, or if you don't care about the direction of the image. But yeah, again, I can definitely recommend this puzzle, especially for the price, and especially when they fix the loose fit. I also really want to know from you if a loose fit is a deal breaker for you. I have heard some people actually loving a loose fit. Maybe you're sad they're changing this. But yeah, I want to know what you feel about the direction of the images and about a loose fit. Also, just if you've done a villager puzzle, what you thought about it. And now I really need to stop talking so I can go lie down. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and consider subscribing. See you next time.